Hi, welcome, welcome. I am Kelly Pitts, Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator since 2005, and I am right here in Lubbock, Texas. So, wherever you are, I'm glad you're tuning in, whether it's live tonight on Facebook Live or whether it's on YouTube or you're watching a replay. I'm happy that you're watching. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you. Hopefully you will have a little fun tonight with this Halloween card and you'll also learn something. That's always my goal. I kind of ask everybody who leaves the class whenever I have in-person classes, which is fairly often, it's several times a month that we get to do that. So that's a lot of fun. I'm glad COVID is now allowing that for us to get together. We missed being together. We have a great Create with Kelly crew who loves to have the community of paper crafters, and I love to be able to create and inspire others to create of their own designs of their own. So thanks again for tuning in, and let me know in the comments if you would. Let me turn over so I can see comments if they come through. And I can't tell who you are unless you allow StreamYard and Facebook to if you give them permission to use your face, your photo, and your name, then I'll know who you are. Otherwise, you just show up as a commenter. But anyway, I'm glad you've tuned in. I see somebody's watching, so I'm glad of that. This was kind of a surprise, but I am just going to show you a card tonight that's one of the four that were in my Halloween, Hallow-WOW-Ween, I called it, because we have some wow folds on the cards, and we're using mostly the Bewitching bundle, and that's been a lot of fun to play with. And then I also had access to a Scary Cute bundle that was fun also. Thank you, Susan, for that. But I'm glad you tuned in, and I'm just going to get right to it so that the people who took my Hallow-WOW-Ween class to go will know how to put this card together if they had to miss the in-person class. So I will switch the desktop over and let you see what we're doing tonight. Hi, Rebecca. You've already seen this card, but I'm glad you tuned in. Hope you had a wonderful birthday yesterday, birthday girl. Hope it was lots of fun. Oops, let's see. Here we go. We're just going to do this card for now. The Halloween Happiness comes from the Scary Cute bundle in the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, and the little banner came from the Stylish Shapes dies that's in the annual catalog, and then the Bewitching, all the hats and the stars and the hat bands came from the Bewitching bundle. We punched them out, and then I have the Celebrate Everything paper, which I'm going to have to turn it sideways to get it all in here. I'm glad you like this one, Rebecca. It was a lot of fun to make. So, and I'll show you this fun fold, and I just came up with it and I had done several different folds, and I was trying to figure out a way to make the hat stand up, and I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that. So I will switch this camera over so you can see this a little, whoops, wrong way. Let's switch it where you can see the paper and just me on the side. Whoops. And it looks like the sun's in my eyes. I may have to maneuver around. We'll just make it full screen of the card. Okay. So as I said, we're using the Celebrate Everything paper, which has tons of colors in it, and it is the Hostess pack with 48 sheets in it that comes whenever you place an order. You place an order of $150 or more, and you have the ability to use your host rewards to buy the host paper. You'll get it for free, basically, if you have a $180 order, because you get 10% rewards. If you do just the minimum of 150 to be counted as a hostess, whether it's all your order or whether you have other fellow crafters who join you and place an order together, either way you do it is you get the same hostess credit. So that's a lot of fun. Just wanted to tell you on this size of this card, And for this fun fold, this is 5.5 by 11. So you're going to use most of a sheet. Usually it is 4.25 by 11 if you use the full length. I'm trying to get this where you can see all this in your screen here. I must have moved the camera from the previous card. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see if I should be measuring it from this way. Yes, this is 1 3/4. It's scored at 1 3/4, 5.5, and 9 3/4. 1 3/4, 5.5, and 9 3/4. Or if you do it from the other end, that works too. That's 1 1/4, 5.5, 9 1/4. So whichever end you measure it from, that's the measurements. You're going to be 1 1/4 in from this end, and 1 3/4 in from the other end, and then this is going to be directly in half at 5.5, half of your 11. And we're going to, the smallest flap right here folds up at the 1 1/4 score. And you'll just go ahead and use your bone folder to burnish that score really good. And I usually do both sides. If you've got a fun fold like this, you might as well really get it burnished good. That one's up. Got another valley fold here. And just make sure all this is lined up. You want to make sure it's lined up on the sides here. Everything's even. And then you'll burnish that. Get that where it's more flat. There we go. And now this flap's going to come up. This one's going to fold back. So that's a mountain fold. Just make sure it's even. Here we go. Now, so this is going to flap over that one and open up this way. I think the other way I had done this as a fun fold was this way, where you open it horizontally, but I wanted the hats to stick up, so I figured out a way. This was a lot of fun to play with. Okay, we're going to take our little Celebrate Everything paper. We'll try to get this where you can see both of these. We'll get our little glue mat, our silicone glue mat, so I don't make a mess everywhere. And we'll have our little glue. I've got 2 pieces. You always think about layering. I always preach that to my Create with Kelly crew members. You want to make sure before you glue anything down that that is the bottom layer, that there's nothing that needs to go between it and the card base. So this layer can go on flat, this layer goes on flat, this one, and this one. So basically all the designer series paper goes on flat except this one that has ribbon around it. So we're going to go ahead and adhere all of those. And we'll just start at the top there on the inside with the stars. And all of these, as I said, are from that Hostess pack that you'll get basically for free. If you have $180, $180 order, you would get the pack, the entire pack of paper for free. And that is 48 sheets. It's 4 sheets each of 12 designs. So, and it has birthday, it has bright fun colors. It has stuff for New Year's and Christmas and fall and Thanksgiving. It's just a wonderful pack. And I think Rebecca ordered that here recently on her order. And I have really enjoyed my pack. Okay, we'll try to get this up where y'all can see. Got the stars there. Just layer those flat. Glue those flat. Then we'll get, this is the opposite side. I just did the card with the pumpkins and ghosts. If y'all missed that one, that will be on my blog. I'll have all the measurements and everything of all the cards hopefully tomorrow for all the cards. So, but the other video, I've got 2 videos up already. I just did a live with the pumpkin ghost card and now this one. And then last week I did the card in the series of 4 that had the little witch's boots on it and the cute little mariachi top skirt. All right, and this one, I want to show you what I did here before I layer that down. We're going to use a little ribbon. Let's see where my box is. Right here. We're just going to use some a black Stampin' Write marker, and this isn't a blend. Blends would really kind of get too fat on the paper. They would get too thick and spread out a little bit, which you love for them to do if you're blending, but if you're just trying to do a tiny area like this, not so much. So you want a sharper tip, and this is just our regular basic black marker, and you can buy the black ones individually. And I just thought this really turned this paper. I've seen this paper used with like little bunnies and little hippos and all kinds of stuff, but I wanted it to look Halloweeny. So all I'm doing is taking the, let's see if I can get this close enough where y'all can see. See that little teardrop there? That area, that's what I'm coloring with black. So I've already done all the rest of them, and I just think that made all the difference. It just looks like spooky wallpaper in an old spooky mansion to me. So that was kind of the concept. We had some paper a couple years ago, some great Halloween paper that had kind of really wallpapery look, which is, I guess, what made me think of that when I did this card. We are going to use some ribbon that I love and looks sparkly. We had this for a couple of years in a row, and it is currently retired, but I ran out of the cute little black and white gingham that I used on this card, and just thought I might as well use this. So if y'all have any of it, we have some of the white that's sparkly iridescent like this. Excuse me. Wow, I must have gotten it off of a dusty retired shelf, right? Have a little sneezing attack there. I'm glad. Hi, Rebecca. I guess you did. I guess that, yes, I did, is from the happy birthday that you must have had. That's awesome. All right, we're going to clip these ends a little bit. And I usually do these at an angle. I think that's kind of more attractive. Let's pull that a little flatter. And that can be as big or small as you want. I'm doing it a little bit bigger than I did on the other card. And I am putting it kind of over towards the right side simply because I have a hat that's going to be on the inside down here, right here by it. So I just felt like that evened it out. But I think that works just great with the glittery black organza. I don't know if that's organza or not. That came to my mind, but that doesn't make it right. I don't know. Okay, now I have put down my glue, sitting in this very spot right here, and don't see it, but I have a second backup, so that's good. I'll use this one. And you want to get glue on the ribbon also to make sure it stays down if you've got your ribbon positioned where you want it. This is going to go here. Easy, easy. Sometimes a designer series paper just makes the card. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this mess that y'all don't need to look at. All right. And, oh, I thought I had already pre-deckled my rectangle, but I have not. So we can either use a deckled rectangle or a stitched rectangle. I was trying to see what I have in here. I think I just have the deckled. So I'm going to cut this really quickly, and I'll be right back instead of pulling it over and being all clunky on the microphone. We'll just do it over here where it's a little more quiet. And I'm using the largest of the deckled rectangle dies. quick and easy. There we go. And this is from the Deckled Rectangle dies, which I have used a lot. Thanks to my friend Dion, who recommended these. 159173 is the number for those. If y'all are interested in putting those in your collection, it makes a lot of fun little edges for your rectangles. That's cute. All right, now we're going to stamp a few stars on there with crushed curry before we put that down. Because like I said, you always have to think about the layering. And if we want to possibly have a do-over side, then we need to go ahead and stamp before we glue. So I'm using crushed curry ink. And we're just going to kind of make a little base for the hat to sit on. And I'm just going to see what I think here. I'm going to do fewer than I did before. I think I got a little carried away first time around. I think we'll put, and I try to turn the stamp each time so that it makes it a little more interesting. I'm going to do a few up there. And that's crushed curry. So we've got our stamping done. And let's see. Before we glue that, I'm going to go ahead and glue this layer on, which looks like it's on the back and doesn't show, but it really does show when you have the card folded. So we're going to use the white side up. It's white, and then it kind of has a curry plaid flair to it, and it really makes those black hats pop, don't you think? Okay, now we've got the little yellow circle, which I know I cut earlier. And it doesn't look like it fell out of that kit. We'll have to see where that might be. Okay, I'm going to think about where that might be while we put this in. We'll go ahead and glue it. You can use your liquid glue. You can use your Stampin' Seal, whatever makes you happy. But we know we've got our stamping done, and we're not going to mess anything up there. So we can go ahead and glue that. Now we're going to pick our hats for the outside, and I have done several different textures. I don't know if you can see all the texture on these. And that's these, if you can see that little texture. It really kind of looks like fabric on a hat. And then I did the gingham folder on this one. There you go. And this is the time-worn type. You can use either side of that. It really makes an interesting texture. Not as crazy about this one. This is the Hive 3D folder, but I think it's still cute. I just wanted to make them all a different texture. And then on here, I also used the painted texture embossing folder and use that on a couple of those. So, and then I added Wink of Stella to them. All right, let me see if I can find my little crushed curry. Here we have it. Crushed curry stripe. And hi, Pauline. I'm glad you're back. Thank you for coming. Excited to have you. How about that? You get your little comment up there. I appreciate you coming back after watching a while ago. This is our little, I don't know if you missed the reveal earlier, Pauline, or if you've been back a minute, but here's what we're working on. And all you've missed are the black using the black marker with the little on the teardrops there, and then using the different texture folders on each hat. So we're going to close this up, and I put this hat behind. So let's see which way we like that one. We might use this one for that. Okay. I'm going to use this one just so we have a different look here. No, I don't think I want that against that. I might do that there. Okay. Use that there. All right. We're going to use this one. And I'm putting this, I'm just going to glue the back of it. Just put a little bit of liquid glue right here because I'm going to put it kind of at an angle and attach it. And on your first card, I would kind of dry fit this. That's why I want to use the liquid glue. You don't want your little hat sticking over the edge there. Then we're going to add a little hat band, and I'll show you the punch in just a minute. I already had these pre-punched, so it wouldn't take all of y'all's time, but it is really a cute punch. It punches out the stars and the hat band and the hat all at one time. Okay. Now I'm going to add this, and I don't like things centered. So I'm going to add this a little over to the right of center, and I'm just putting glue on the bottom. I tend to kind of cover up the top, or whatever I don't want glue on, I cover that up with my fingers so I know right where to put the glue. Because this one, this layer goes on top there. I'll go ahead and make that straight. Let's see how this one's going to be right here before that glues all the way down. Yeah, okay. I think that's good to glue then. Okay, then I'm going to pop this middle one up on dimensionals, and I'm going to use our black Stampin' dimensionals. And this hat I flipped the other way because I wanted kind of the flow of this tip of this hat to go into the next hat, if that makes sense. So this flow takes your eye into this hat, which takes you right back here. So it keeps them on the page. And that's what you want. You want them to stay there and enjoy your card. You took a while to make it for them, so your recipient should appreciate that. Thanks, Rebecca. I'm glad you liked this card. I'm always glad to have you at classes. I'm glad you're back in town and you'll be able to come to some maybe after your fun trip to Ohio. Okay. Put that. I'm just barely going to lay that on there and make sure I have it where I want it. Because I want this to kind of go, I kind of curved this around where I kind of thought of this almost as a moon, like an old yellow Halloween moon. So that was my plan there. So to kind of curve the hat around it, I'm putting dimensionals on the back of this one, just at the bottom, because that's all that's going to show. See what I mean? Where that curve mirrors this curve. Kind of gives it some interest, I think. Okay. And then I have punched out all kinds of white stars, black stars, everything with this punch. And if y'all haven't seen the punch, I will show you that real quickly. It's called a Witch Hat Builder's Punch. And I know this is kind of shiny. It looks like I may have frozen up here. Uh-oh. Are we back? Here's the witch. So it cuts the hat and the stars and the band at the same time. And I'll show you if you want to do just the band, for instance, if you have just a little, if you want to do just the hat band, you can stick it in the punch like that, boop, and just punch that one. And then if you want just stars, you can do that. So we need a big star. So we're going to punch that. Woo! They went flying everywhere. All right. Oh, good, Pauline. You have this punch. Have you been enjoying it? That's great. And Rebecca has she just got her order. So she got her Bewitching punch. I know that's kind of been in and out of back order. So, or not back order, but at least not orderable. We're going to let's make sure before we do this. And I was about to do that wrong. Okay. So this hat, I'm going to put it back here. You wouldn't have to. You could just have that part of the hat. This one, I put a hat and it's kind of upside down. So it's up to you whether you think you need one or not. But I decided to back this one, kind of put it back to back so that you have more of a full hat there, I guess you'd call that. And we're just going to do that right there. Even that out. And then I'm just going to glue this part flat. There we go. Oh, Pauline, I haven't seen scarecrow hats. That would be darling with this. Yes. Cute, cute. Okay. So we've got front and back that match there. And I believe I need a little bit of, I'm going to do a little more crushed curry. I'm looking through all my pieces here to see what all I have. I'm going to go ahead and put these corners on. If y'all don't have the Fabulous Frames dies, man, I've been using that a lot. And that has these cute little corners that reminds me of the old scrapbook corners that you used to tuck pictures into. You tuck them in the corner. Of course, they were black, but I really like these. There's kind of a more modern linear one, and then there's this scrolly one. And you don't have to tuck your paper into these. You can just lay it on top. It still gets the effect and saves you a lot of grief. That was a pain to try to get all of that really where it would tuck under there. And I just don't think it makes that much difference. But that's totally up to you. If you think it makes a difference and you want to take the trouble to figure that out, you go right ahead. Good on you. All right. So we've got our corners. And I don't see, kind of missing some of my hat bands here. We did the hat bands. I punched those kind of like I showed you earlier. And we'll do, let's see, this one I did that here. We can do that. So we probably should have the same color on the inside. I don't know that I did that on that other one. I don't think I did. I did yellow there, but we'll go ahead and do this here. And of course you could use the black with the stars. You could use that side too. Pauline, do you live in the Lubbock area or are you from somewhere else? Glad you tuned in. And one would love to know how you found me. If it just popped up on your screen or something. Okay, we're going to use this little hat band, and this is from the Design a Daydream, which is the Hostess pack that came out of the annual catalog. So it's the one, it's this one right here. It's a little scrap of that. So this is from Celebrate Everything, as are the stars. This one is from the Design a Daydream pack. Didn't get that on very well. Gonna have to do a little surgery there. Trim that off a little bit. Because I didn't quite line that up. Trim, trim. No one will know. Okay. Now we'll add some of these little black stars here. You can put it on the stars, but it's a little kind of fumble a little bit doing that, I think. So we're going to use our take a pick tool, pick up a star. It's kind of a big one. I think we'll use the little ones on the side there. But I love this take a pick tool, and it's only like $10 or something really reasonable. And I use it all the time. This putty end, you just need to be careful and make sure you don't twist this or twist the cap off and twist this too much, because your putty is usable for a long time. You can just kind of remold that a little bit on your end, and there we go. Now I'm going to put a little white star up here, and I kind of put this one where it almost is like it's on the, sorry about that. It's almost like it's on this hat when you're looking at it. It's kind of an optical illusion. So I'm going to stick with that little plan. Put the glue there. Put the white star there. And you could put it on the hat too, if you wanted. Y'all want to try that on this one? We'll do that. It's kind of a double star. That's kind of fun, right? Then we'll wink of Stellette, and it'll be all good. We'll put a little yellow star here. That's crushed curry. I shouldn't be calling it yellow. I know better. I know what the color is. Okay, we're going to do it that way. It did not want to glow on that other side, did it? Okay. Now we've got the Halloween Happiness. This is already cut out. This is from the Scary Cute bundle in the mini catalog. And I used it on some other cards too. I don't have this one, but my wonderful friend Susan loaned it to me. So we could use the Halloween Happiness. It has the little matching die in the stamp. And then the rest of this came from the Bewitching bundle. It's on page 57 of the catalog. And I have the stamp set and the punch. You buy the whole bundle with the stamp set separately is $19, and the punch is $19. But you get both of them for $34. So you save a little bit of money there. 10% on the bundle. And we're going to take this little banner again from Stylish Shapes Dies and cut it in half. And then I like to use, just to stick this to the back of this, I think glue dots are really handy. So you just have to make sure which side you're sticking it to. And I want it on the top, on the end on the top. Just kind of twist that and it'll come off on there right where you want it. Then we're going to do the top of this one, twist it, and attach this underneath here, wherever we want. Kind of even that out, kind of get it even on both sides, how much it's sticking out and where it's kind of straight across. Then we'll add our little dimensionals, and you could use either black or white, whatever you wanted to on this one. We're going to make sure those stay together there. I'll use one more in the middle. We'll just add that to the front. That looks a little crooked. See how that works. Before I put it all the way down, I just kind of want to see, yep, that's still a little crooked. So mess with that first. Try to get that like you want it. Now you can use a little more pressure on the dimensionals and stick that down good. We'll go ahead and glue a couple of stars on there. We got glue boogers there we need to get off. And I'm just using a little container I got on Amazon. You can put whatever your favorite liquid glue is in there. And if you'll keep the little lid on it and keep it on its side, it is really, really handy to use and mostly stays unclogged. Usually, maybe once a day, you have to unclog it with the little pin, but it's easier to me than fighting with some of the other glue bottles that are larger and seem to dry out quicker. All right, let's see what else we lack. Oh, we need a little yellow star on the tip of this hat. I'm thinking that got a little bit too far out there, but I think it will still fit in the envelope. I think I'm going to just trim that off because that sticks out a bit and would stick out of the envelope a little. It could. A little more. Since there's one right there and one right here, I think we're good on that. Oh, hi. Well, all the way in Minnesota. I'm glad. I'm glad you found me on Facebook. Pauline, glad you did. Yes, the spider rings. They are funny. Well, you just got to be silly. I have witch earrings on too, Rebecca. We'll see that when I turn the camera back down. Let's see if, oh, we've got to do our inside hat, don't we? Okay. We can certainly do that. Let's put a little black star in here. Grab him with the, let's see, he wants to be that way. There we go. And if we want a couple of big stars here, we can do that with the crushed curry ones. Now we've got one more hat for the inside. We can do the little hive one. We could do that. No, I think it needs to go that way. The card or Minnesota or the spider rings. Can't tell. Let's see what else we have here. I need a little yellow band, don't I? A little hat band. Let's get some. We'll just punch us another little strip of crushed curry because it seems that I am missing that little band. We'll see if this is a big enough strip. And can you see that? There we go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And I'm not really sure if there's a front and back, up and down, whatever to the band. I think it kind of works both ways. It seems to anyway. If you know what I mean. Okay, we'll just add a little black star on this one. And add a little wink of Stella, and we shall be done. Maybe that should be a white star with that black hat. I think maybe let's look and see if we like a white star better on the yellow. Do y'all want white star or black star? I don't know if my comments are frozen or what. Sorry, Pauline, I couldn't really tell. Let me see if you commented anymore. Thanks for the really nice thing. Rebecca's That's funny with the spider rings. So y'all can see you could use whatever ribbon. You could substitute a designer series paper, a different one if you wanted. You can substitute texture folders, use whatever color you like, any of that. So, whoops. Okay, Pauline, there we go. I'm trying to get that out. But I'll be glad. Thank you for the compliment, Pauline. Whatever you think is nice. I appreciate it very much. And hope y'all have enjoyed this card and learned something new. Maybe you hadn't tried this fun fold before or hadn't done anything with the hats or whatever. Hope y'all learned something. Let's get a little Wink of Stella on here and I will let you go. I've got one more card that I was hoping to get done, but we are going to have some guests over. We are House of Dragon watchers, so we're going to have a quick meal before House of Dragons comes on and then watch that. So we'll just get all the stars Wink of Stella up. Make them a little shiny, shiny. Hope y'all are having a great weekend. I know Rebecca did. It was her birthday yesterday. Hope everybody else is enjoying their weekend. And oh, good, Pauline. I'm glad you haven't seen this fold before. And I will, like I said, I'll have instructions on my blog. So if you've subscribed to that, you'll be able to see the measurements. But I just thought that was a fun way to show off the hats. And you can tell I didn't use my bone folder quite as much on this one as I did this one. So it'll lay a little flatter if you work on it. Really, really get that crease in there good. There you go. But I hope y'all have enjoyed this. For another class to go, Pauline. Hi, Dana. I'm so glad you joined us. This was a fun class. It was fun to have you there. Loved having you and Vicki both. So thank y'all for tuning in and hope y'all will play with your sets. And I can certainly help you if you need to get you some of this Hostess paper. There are a lot of uses for it besides just for Halloween, but it sure was fun for Halloween. So let's see. Let me turn us back here. And thanks again for tuning in. And if you didn't see a notice yet, and I don't know if I got that on my blog, I've been working on this today, so getting everything prepped for the video. But if you haven't seen it yet, Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping for $75 orders and above on the 4th, October 4th only. That one day is free shipping day. So that's a lot of fun. You always like to save money on fun products. And if you're interested, they are having a join special in October starting on the 4th too. And I'll be putting out some information on that. If you might like to join my team, we've got some great Create with Kelly crew members, and it's a wonderful paper crafting community that we have. I think we have a lot of fun peeps here, and I'll be doing some classes to go. I'm going to try to get the other video finished by tomorrow, this other Halloween video, and then we'll be moving on to Christmas cards. So I will be posting information about my class to go soon on that too. So if you have any questions, please, you can email me anytime, createwithkelly.com. Just spell the Kelly right with K-E-L-L-E-Y. You may know you're there, so I'm not talking to air. Appreciate you tuning in live or on the YouTube or Facebook Live replay. Y'all have a great week. Fun times ahead. Thanks. Bye-bye.